Number one for the Packers defense, attack these tight ends. This is the kind of physical play you see. This, I think this is Aiden Hutchinson against their tight end. Oh, that's not Aiden. Sorry. That's 79. But attack the tight end, be physical, be the first to contact. This is why, like, I'll bring it up just because people are talking about it right now. Aiden Hutchinson is in a 2-point. That's his prerogative. We're in a 4-point here. What is the advantage of being in the 4-point? Your hips are lower. You have better leverage. Pad level's lower. Right? You can strike low to high. You have more power. You're more of a coiled spring. That's the advantage. Now, what's the disadvantage? Awareness, lateral movement. There's some things that aren't what you want. But if you want to get down and dirty and be able to attack this guy, you're not going to attack him in a 2-point as well as you can in a 4. I want you to notice too, and this is just kind of interesting, I think. Left side's good. They're good, not a bad offensive line by any means. But watch how they come off the ball versus watching Detroit. And listen, when Detroit comes off the ball for inside zone, it's a little more vertical. Yeah, are they running as much? No, they're not. They run a lot of middle and outside zone there. But these guys shuffle off the ball. And you see this with Green Bay a lot. And people ask, well, why isn't this player doing, why are we not moving? It's because when you shuffle off the ball and your second step doesn't increase leverage to the first and second step don't increase leverage to the defensive lineman, you're not striking kind of with momentum. It's hard to create separation and vertical space. We look I think this is on the backside here. So we do a lot of stunting and everybody, it got called out a little bit on TV last week, and we've been talking about it for weeks and put you in a weak position. But watch Anzalone for the linebacker for the Lions here, because he comes downhill so violently right here into this gap. Gerald Everett, who's not going to play, he's a good receiving wide receiver from Seattle, or tight end from Seattle. I don't think he's playing this week. It's good for the Green Bay Packers. He's a good player. But he totally misses this, turns back, and gives these guys an opportunity to make the tackle in the hole. Okay, so aggressive play kind of screws with the offense. Same look here. Now you got a safety mugged up, and we're just going to be the more physical team. This is the determination that Dan Campbell and all the former coach, the former players turned coaches they have on their staff. This is what a big part of the culture they've brought. We are not going to be out physical. That's not the kind of ball we're going to play. So he attacks 15 on their side of the line of scrimmage, and they just play a really physical brand of football. Talk about he can make any throw in any window. Simple stuff. And we talk about making the easy plays. They're making, for the most part, he's making the easy throws. Again, we show the two-man. We're talking about two-man stuff. So you get in the screen game here with Ekeler, and just look at the play speed and kind of the elusiveness that Austin Ekeler has. And this is the problem. They do a good job of getting their linemen out into that space. They're going to be able to pick up that man coverage, right? You have to be forceful and decisive. We've seen it a lot over the last couple of weeks. Rudy Ford last week, very decisive, spiking through and making a play. The week before, we hesitate. We get blocked by the offensive lineman because we're just hesitating, and now they go off for a big play. Like, it's just how you approach the game is going to determine the terms of that confrontation. We got a 3-by-2 empty. They motion down, and they're just trying to get Ekeler open, right? So they motion down. They go inside release with their point man, which forces that the top hat player to play outside, to continue to play outside leverage. Ekeler goes underneath. And listen, when you're in this position as a defender, you're actually in a pretty decent position from a leverage standpoint as far as being able to chase this guy down. Now, you're beat, right? He's made the play, and he's going to get a couple yards, but you feel pretty good about this. But Eckler's a special player. Just hits the e-brake, ducks underneath him. He's small, and goes and picks up 10 more yards. Okay, so this is what you get. The after-catch performance for him is really high level. You got a 3-by-1, and it's like, Justin Herbert, I want you to escape to your left, flip your hips, and just throw a dart. to your number one. It's like, no problem. I can do all it. Check, check, and check. No problem. The guy can make throws. So you have to know where these players are. They'll throw to the other guys. Their other two receivers, first round draft pick, actually, Quentin Johnson and then Jalen Guyton last week, both had good games, right? And they're building. They're building. But really, when you talk about this team, you don't want Keenan Allen to beat you. Now, they motion across, and the Lions show zone, so they know that this tight end is now going to be covered by this safety. Why is that important? Well, because all he has to do is cross the safety's face, and you have all kinds of space back here for your number one to play outside leveraged cornerback into the end zone. This is a play without Ekeler in the game. This play doesn't work. There you go. Toss crack. It looks all kind of a jumbled mess. He ends up dip diving and dancing like he's playing dodgeball for a 9-yard gain. You look at this from the end zone copy, and it just is all kinds of bad. Number one gets lit up, gets in the tackle's way, and Ekeler just, I said it must be a drowning pool concert, man. There's bodies everywhere, right? Bodies hitting the floor. I mean, bodies down, outside, bodies down, bodies. I mean, guys are just missing. He's just making people. He's that kind of player. So you show zone here. Show zone up top. You got trips. When they show zone, they know that cross. If they're going to run a shallow cross with the inside slot receiver here, he's going to have to get picked up by that linebacker. It's a matchup that they like. And you see the way that he runs it, he turns it into a foot race. So he doesn't immediately go across. He goes up, up, up. And now he hits it after 5 yards and tries to run right across this guy's face. They clear out on the downside. Easy pitch and catch, first down. All right. I like the way, from a detail standpoint, that their passing game works. Got their bunch look, and they've decided to go man. And this is where Keenan Allen makes his money. They put the receiver on top in man coverage, but that safety's got to hold. And all they do is a little stutter step with Keenan Allen, and they just throw the fade. They got a ton of space out here. Herbert can put it kind of wherever he wants. The safety's not going to be able to get there. Another big play in this game. They passed for almost 350 yards, and he had a lot of them. These kind of plays, he's not going to miss again. Now, I'm saying that from two standpoints. One, when safety covers over the top, because we have the bubble motion from Keenan Allen. Now you've got single safety, and he's over on the numbers to start, on the high numbers. So you got this tight end open, but more importantly, you got the Texas route with Ekeler, and there's nobody in the middle. If Ekeler catches this ball, the next person to touch him maybe is that linebacker on the 40-yard line. But my point is, they're doing a great job of scheming guys open, and there's answers everywhere. Okay, and that linebacker bit hard on that Texas route. So he misses this throw, but if you're watching, the Packers are watching defense, it's like you have to be aware of what they're trying to do. Lindsey's out, Will Clapp's in. You just got to take advantage, I think, of this. He's not particularly strong in the run game. He'll turn his, we'll see this attack with middle pressure we talked about before, because he'll turn his hips. He can get picked. He doesn't kind of punch and get back, stay square to the line of scrimmage at times. Plays a little bit high. So he's one of those guys that, I'm kind of trying to focus on putting somebody over him, making him move, making him redirect. And I think that's one way to get pressure up the middle. Again, this kid's good at everything, but when he releases, he's fast enough to outrun your defensive ends. He can throw far enough to make any throw on the field. You kind of want him backing up and throwing off his back heels. You got the trips look here again. And, I mean, you talk about this window throw. He just rockets this thing. And you think that safety, it doesn't, it kind of defies physics, man. Like, you shouldn't be able to make that toss. You got a Twins look upfield. And what you love about this is they think they have this covered. The corner immediately knows he's made a mistake. Ball's gone. And then this guy's got he's an underrated receiver. He plays for a team that is, while it's in a big market, it's not the top team. They've never just had this great fan following. This is one of those games where if it was in San Diego, there'd be more Packers fans, or LA, be more Packers fans in SoFi than there would be Chargers fans. But this kid Keenan Allen's an unbelievable football player. We really got to be aware of it.